Come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. All right, now let's get it on out the way. Let's get it on out the way. Let's get it on out the way. Let's go. Testing, testing. There we go. There we go. So what you're looking at on this front screen is an image staring out the window of an 18 wheeler. So I like to go ahead and get my stuff done early into the day because looking here like I got about an hour before I touch down and get this load that I have dropped off the back end. All right. I'm gonna go off a little off topic here. Um, on these YouTube streets, you are going to run into people that's only about their best interest. I'll repeat, you're going to run into people on this YouTube sector that's only got their best interest in mind and at heart. So, like I said, I put it out there. If you're into a fight and the people that you have around you are not throwing punches, that is a problem. But anyway, let's get on with the show. So, we're traveling on I-10, beautiful I-10, coming over here on, we're around Pensacola. We got to go over here and drop one off in Panama City, right down by the ocean. So, I want all you guys to know, trucking is not hard. The hardest parts that you're going to experience in trucking is backing. For the most part, you're going in a straight line. The hardest part about it is when you get started. You have to know every piece, part, thingamajig, hickamabob on this vehicle. And you have to take a test on everything on this vehicle and how it works. Bottom line is, you're going to have to be able to display that you know about your truck and what you're doing, how to process of identification. That's basically what you're going to have to do when you're dealing with trucking. For the most part, I'll start with the qualifications that you need. You can't have any major illness. You can't have any major illness when you're trying to be a truck driver. Now, you know, the high blood pressure, diabetes, and things like that, that will not hinder you from being a truck driver. You just have to have a personal physician that you're seeing on a regular basis for those particular illnesses. What's the next thing? Next thing, you're gonna have to have reading, writing, arithmetic when being a truck driver. You're going to need to basically be able to see quite naturally, and it's most of it is pretty basic. You have to have a certain level of focus when you are a truck driver. Like I said in my last video, hey, look, hey man, if you're attached to the hip with your young lady, truck driving may not be for you. It takes a strong woman to be a trucker wife. You can come out here for a year based on who you know. You can come out here for a year and drive, get the experience, and if you know someone that is willing to hire you locally, that is an option to obtain. You have to. They give random drug tests. You can't be on any kind type of drugs. I don't care if you're in states where marijuana is illegal. You cannot use it being a truck driver. You can't have you look if you like that sauce, if you like to drink that alcohol, that's usually going to be when you take downtime. You have to be able when you first start. You have to be able to read a map when you start trucking. There's a lot of variables in this profession. Um, Basically, it's early morning. It's you get up 5 in the morning, and you may not finish to 6 in the evening. Depends on what you're doing. I will tell you when the business is booming, it pays it pays dividends. So basically, if you're whatever you're trying to achieve in life, let's say you want to buy a house, with the right mental process, with the right mental process, you will be able to obtain that in this profession. You also have to stay focused. It does have its highs and its lows. Um, basically, basically, me, I've been at it where I stay out 6 months at a time. It is going to have, down periods in trucking. Now, let's talk about the dry van in the box. Dry van that dry van and box freight are basically the same. Dry van is more canned goods, dry material. You can haul almost anything in dry van. I've hauled paper. I've hauled chemicals. I'm talking about some of everything. Now you can haul that in a refrigerated container or refrigerated 18 wheeler, but you're not going to be able to. It's not really. They don't really like to haul chemicals in refrigerated trailers because you're going to run into a lot of food products. You'll run into a lot of fresh fruit and vegetables that has to be cooled in those trailers. So they try to stay away from that. Now, can you haul canned goods and dry material in refrigerated trailers? Yes. The refrigerated game. Only reason I do not, well, the refrigerator and the box. The only reason I do not like refrigerated and box because of the hours. The hours are never consistent. You'll be delivering. Sometimes you'll be delivering 4 in the morning. Sometimes you could be delivering 12 p.m. at night. Now in dry, I mean in refrigerated is worse than that. Refrigerated freight is worse than that. Your hours of delivery. You'll be up 5 in the morning delivering. Man, there's a lot of variables that go into it. Look. All I can tell you is with the refrigerator and the box, it's crazy hours. You know what I mean? And you don't really get the workout that you need in those two professions. Now, flatbed is more of a 5 to 5 or a 7 to 5. 9 times out of 10 in flatbed, all your shippers and receivers are going to shut down around 5 o'clock. It's very seldom that you'll find a shipper or receiver that you're going to be doing any work after 5 o'clock when you're doing flatbed. Um, you're going to, but flatbed is a workout. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's some loads that I get that I've actually walked 9, 10,000 steps around this trailer to secure that load. It just depends on what you get. Right now, I'm really focused on coils. Like right now, I have some wire metal back here. Looks like some material that they build fences with. Um, and what else I can hit on with it? Man, there's a lot. There's a lot. I'll be quite honest with you. You have to stay focused. You have to get up every morning and you have to check your truck, make sure it's in working and operating condition. Look here, on this highway, you're going to run into a lot of idiots. And is becoming more idiots are being placed in 18 wheelers than four wheelers. You have to keep the mindset that you are to protect the motoring public. So you're driving in an 18 wheeler is not offensive, it's defensive. You are driving to watch out for other pedestrians on this highway when you're driving down the road. That's just the facts about it. But you know, what I mean, look, when you get into it, all this that I'm talking about becomes second nature. It becomes a part of routine. It becomes a part of your day. Um, you know, I tell anyone. I'm what you call a Navy SEAL. I'm what you call a Navy SEAL or a Marine, a truck driver. I wouldn't recommend anyone try or do what I'm doing in truck driving because it has its ups and downs. You gotta this profession, this particular field that I'm in, you gotta bust your ass. You gotta bust your behind. Let's say you gotta bust your behind. You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta keep up with everything. I'm talking about is keeping receipts, keeping up with how much you're spending. I mean, there's a lot that goes with it. But now, like I've been doing it and what I'm doing, I've been doing it so long that I know how to keep up with it. And I got to stop tomorrow and get me a notebook so I can start keeping my notes about what I'm doing out here. But all in all, man, look, is a great profession to get in. It's a great profession to get in. It's freedom. Um, you know, no headaches really. You know what I mean? And I mean headaches come if you allow them to come. I mean, and most of your headaches are going to come from this cell phone device, but you can always turn that off. Oh yeah, quick note: when you're going live, you can put your phone on Do Not Disturb, and it does work. But basically, all your stress, anything that's going on back home, if you do decide to come out here and do this profession, anything going on back home is a phone call. If you realize that you're talking to a person that with a bunch of local negative drama, you have the option not to answer that phone for that person because locally, what can you do? What actually can you do? You like anyone that's local, you can't do nothing for them. And nine times out of 10, they're calling you to borrow some money. And when it comes down to that, um, you can send your money to these people. But if you ever run into a situation or a hard time, they will never be able to look out for you like you will be able to look out for them. That's just facts. I've done it. I've been through it, and it's a whole stress factor to it. But I mean, when it comes down to operating a 18 wheeler, remember, um, 99.9% of the time, you're going to be driving forward. The only time that you're doing anything in the rear way, in my profession, in flatbed anyway, 99.9% of the time I'm driving forward. Box and van, box and reefer trailer. And if you don't know what a reefer trailer is, it's a refrigerated trailer. And oh yeah, the the best note about a reefer trailer, it makes a lot of noise. It hinders through the night. It hinders you from sleeping because when you have a load and you have to cool it, there's a consistent and a vibration uh, while you're trying to sleep. So if you're one of those light sleepers, I wouldn't recommend you get into a reefer trailer. Um, but so 98.9% of the time, a reefer in a box, you guys are driving forward. That other percentage you're backing up. Um, you're gonna go through a lot of places where in those reefers, you're gonna go to a lot of places with tight turns. You're gonna go to a lot of places like New Jersey, New York, because you got to think about it. You're shipping food into the cities. Those cities up there don't necessarily grow their own produce. So you're going to be shipping food into those cities and basically, et cetera, going from there. Um, Another point I want to hit on. Something is always going to occur on a truck. It is a machine. Um, so when you're out here and you get into this profession, remember, follow the rules. Do your pre-trips. Look at your equipment, because you know what I mean. It could save your life and it could save others' life. If you have a steer tire, you have a steer tire or drive tire that's looks like it needs to be replaced, have it replaced. These companies cannot make you drive or operate unsafely out here. If they do, you record it. You contact the powers that be and let them know what this particular company you're working for is doing. The best startup companies would be number one, Stevens Transportation. Number two, Swift. Number three, I'd say CRST. Let's just throw them out there. Flatbed startup company is Maverick. I went to AFC. I went to AFC when I started flatbed. So Maverick, AFC, and even CRST and Swift has flatbed as well. Stevens doesn't. So, hey, pick your profession. Pick which way you want to go about it. Um, get focused, and let's go. Now, what you want to do if you're trying to obtain your CDLs, I'll repeat this again. Download CDL Prep. Download CDL Prep on your app store on your phone. Study general combination. I'll repeat that. Study general knowledge, air brakes, and combinations. You can do it. You could try to go and do the permit test all at one time. I did it one section at a time. If I was studying general knowledge, I went and took general knowledge. If I was studying air brakes, I went and took air brakes. If I was studying combinations, I went and took combinations. So it doesn't take, like you could take, if you take one on Tuesday, you could take another part on Friday. Then that next week, you could take the other part. It doesn't take that long if you're studying correctly. Is pretty much is I sit there, like instead of watching TV, I'd sit there and I just study my profession or what I wanted to do or how I wanted to go about it. What inspired me to get into trucking, one time I hit rock bottom and I was staying in a motel. So when I was staying in a motel, I was by I-75 down around my hometown. And I watched the trucks go by. I was just watching the trucks go by. Watched the trucks. I was like, so I was just sitting there thinking, well, I wonder where those trucks going. You know what I mean? So basically, I watched the trucks, and that helped me make my decision about the profession and what I wanted to do, how I wanted to get into it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like at this point, it done had its highs and lows. Don't get me wrong. Anything you do is gonna have its highs and lows. But this is the best profession for me. You know what I mean? Because hey, look, I like at the say I can raise hell on this YouTube thing, but I like my peace. I like my peace. But and it gave me an opportunity to be more cultured. I got to see a lot of things, how different people operate, et cetera, et cetera. So, man, look, I'll tell you now, if you're a person that's okay being alone, being by yourself for extended amount of times, look, this is the place to be. And don't worry, you know what I mean? Don't worry about being alone, because you're gonna have you will find that, man, there's a lot of progress in solitude. You know, now if you're one of them people that has a need to be around people, this probably is not the profession for you. But you know, I'm just coming here giving a brief, another brief survey on this profession. I'll do another segment tomorrow, and I'll do it in the evening, where people can come up and ask questions about it, et cetera, et cetera. So right now, I'm not too far from dropping the load I have off. I'm gonna drop this one off and turn around and go pick up another one, head to my next destination. And that's what. And the saying is, if your wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning. And that's a true statement. If your wheels are not turning, you are not earning. So, you know what I mean? Enjoy your day. Be blessed. You know what I mean? Be kind to one another. And hey, I'm going to play a commercial and get out of here. Yes, sir, buddy.